All right. Let's one after. We'll just do brief intros as folks continue to join. But first of all, thank you for everybody for spending time with us today. We're super excited to introduce you to Cubicasa. Did want to thank the folks at Naren, especially Sarah and Brianna, for bringing us as a sponsored member benefit to you. And super excited to talk about Cubicasa, our technology, and really how easy it is to use and add a 2D floor plan to your listings. We've made it as simple as possible, super affordable, even a free option for you. But excited to talk more about the benefits a Cubicasa listing can, or a Cubicasa floor plan can bring to your listing. So my name is Eric Hackman. I am the director of our customer support and customer success departments here at Cubicasa. We've been working closely with the folks at Naren for the past couple of months, ready to bring you our technology. And I'll pass this over to my coworker here, Sam, who's going to do a webinar for you today to teach you about all the benefits that we can bring from our technology to your listings. So Sam, introduce yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate the intro. So my name's Sam Poole. I'm a strategic sales manager here at Cubicasa, with my speciality being the northeast of the USA. So I've been with the company for 4 years since we launched the product. So launch day back in 2019-ish. So 3 years, nearly 4 years. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk you through what is Cubicasa, what do we offer you as far as a member benefit, and then shortly towards the end, we'll walk you through what the sign-up process looks like, etc. So I'll talk to you about floor plans. It's what we sell, and I'll talk to you about the benefits of using the product and what kind of options you can opt in for. So I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen, and then we should be good to go. Okay. So I think you should all see my screen now. Cool. Perfect. So Cubicasa, we have a goal and target as of today. And due to the benefits and just to the greatness of floor plans, our goal is to have a floor plan on every single listing. Now, why do we want that to happen? And why is that so important to us? So the floor plan demand in the US is huge. The consumer demand is massive. Both home buyers and home sellers are asking for floor plans to be on their listings. But approximately only 10% of listings today in the US have a floor plan. How do we know it's so important? Well, if we look back to the 2021 NAR Home Buyers and Sellers Survey, what we do is you can see what real estate website features are the most valuable and the most requested. And what we can see is a floor plan is the single most desired add-on to a listing by consumers after standard photos and listing data. So the demand is there. And why are these so demanded? What's the importance of floor plans? So floor plans help the buyer to understand the property's fit for their life better than any other digital asset. And the reason that we say that, and the reason that that's been spoken about so much, is because if you were to look through the carousel of photos inside the MLS, you're going to learn about the home in a single frame, bit by bit by bit by bit. However, if you look at a floor plan, it's a single glance. So you can understand the full property layout in just a single viewing. You can learn how big the rooms are, what types of rooms are in the home. You can learn if your furniture will fit your existing or future furniture. And you can understand that property layout to see where if it meets the family's needs. So where are the kids going to sleep? Where am I going to sleep? Is there a spare room? Is there a dining room specifically? Is it big enough to fit my big Christmas table or whatever it may be? You can learn about that home in a single frame. So why do we want to add floor plans to every listing? And why do agents want that to happen? So you can stand out and win more listings. As we all know, when you're trying to get that listing from that home seller, you're going to be offering everything that you possibly can to be able to win that listing. So better media, better communication, whatever it may be. With more media assets on a floor plan, such as a floor plan, you can stand out and win more listings when you're talking to home sellers. You can generate more qualified buyers. There's a lot of salespeople in this room. We all know that we like to get warm leads, giving us a call or sending us a text or receiving that email. So you can generate qualified home buyers. We all know that most people will look online at a home property, a home or a property, to be able to qualify that home before they pick up the phone and call the agent. And of course, the more media that we add on to listings, such as floor plans, the more understanding we can give to home buyers about properties, the more likely it is to reduce that property time on market. So what is Cubicasa? I'll talk to you a bit about the past, where we came from. So we founded the company close to 9 years ago, actually. And at that time, we were having agents and photographers and everyone that needs a floor plan send us a picture of a floor plan. It may have been a photo picture taken of somebody's drawing on a napkin. It may have been an old property listing. It could have been whatever. We can find floor plans from everywhere. But what we were trying to do is we were trying to modernize that, and we recognized that everybody had a tool or a point of capture device inside their pockets, which is a cell phone. So we started building applications on Apple to start with, and we launched on the iPhone 10. And what we were able to reduce is we were able to reduce the amount of time searching for floor plans and of course drafting and everything else. And we were able to allow people to create a floor plan in just a short 5-minute scan to be able to obtain accurate floor plan measurements, as well as detailed information about the layout, the appliances, as well as room measurements and the type of room names. So how does it work? So it's super easy. And I know I'm biased for saying it, but it truly is. It's the easiest way to obtain a floor plan. It takes on average 5 to 10 minutes to scan a typical size home. And what that typical size for me is about 2,200 square feet. You don't need any training. You don't need any extra software or hardware. There's no tripods or lenses required that you would attach to your phone. It's just like opening an app such as, for instance, Facebook. You get real-time in-app feedback that gives you peace of mind that you're scanning correctly. And it works on both Apple and Android devices. So devices that are 6, 7 years old will work absolutely fine. You do not need the latest and greatest iPhone 24 Max Plus edition, whatever it may be on now. So most phones will work perfectly. So how does it work? I like this video because I think it gives a bit of peace of mind on what we're actually doing. How is it so techy? So to explain, on the left of the screen, at the top left, it's the view of the camera. Towards the bottom left is what we're capturing in real time using different pieces of augmented reality kits inside the phone. And towards the right, what you're seeing is a full 3D digital footprint that we're creating of that property. So the bottom left and the right hand side, so the agent or the user will not see this. This is some back-end processing that we're doing with our computers. They'll just see the top left. But as you can see, you're able to produce something similar to a 3D tool, which is what we're processing, but with a mobile phone. So we're capturing lots of property information to be able to ensure that we're getting the floor plan correct every single time. So as you can see in the right-hand side, what we're actually able to capture is the camera's position, the user's walking path, as well as their turns, etc. So we're able to obtain quite a bit of information. Okay, so in a few moments, just after we scan outside on this porch area or this decking area of this home, you'll see a floor plan start to unfold. So as you can see here, if I just pause this, what you're able to achieve is a floor plan. I know this is sped up by like 1.25, but this home was captured in around about 3 minutes. So this is a 1,200 square foot home. Okay, moving on to the next slide. So Cubicasa also works on high-end or complex properties. So if you have got a little bit of an extravagant architect that has designed some home, don't worry, the Cubicasa app works perfectly. Don't worry about the angled walls and the measurements. We've done all the hard work and the legwork with our AI to ensure that we're capturing as best as we possibly can to give you accurate results at the end. It works so well that we are able to create an actual footprint, a digital footprint. So this here is a home out of Pennsylvania. It's a boot house. It's an lovely Airbnb. I don't have the address, but I'm sure you could find it if you type in Shoe House, Pennsylvania. So if you did want to stay here for a nice weekend away, you can do. But this is a floor plan that was submitted to us from a real estate photographer that works within our network as a true example of how unique and how diverse properties can be and how well Cubicasa captures each and every one of them. So moving into some products that we offer. So further to this, Cubicasa is able to deliver consistent GLA results that align to ANSI standards. So the floor plan images and area calculations are in one single PDF image, is what we would call it our GLA report. And this is an option that you can opt in for. So this is perfect for the appraisers that may be on the call. I know we'll have both real estate agents as well as real estate appraisers. So inside this floor plan, of course, it will be measured according to ANSI, which takes into consideration things like wall thickness and external measurements, as well as non-livable areas such as potential storage or unheated or unfinished areas. It's also able to determine things that are above or below ground, as well as exterior ingress and exterior egress, should we say. So what do we offer the MLS? We're giving this away for free. And I know that there's no catch just yet. There's no catch at all, but I'll talk you through why this is financially viable. So for us, what we would like to do is we'd like to push floor plans to the MLSs, and we'd like to be able to offer a floor plan product for free. So what do we include in that floor plan? We give you a simplified output, an easy to understand output for both home buyers, home sellers, and yourselves. And that's delivered within 24 hours. Inside the floor plan, you'll of course get room labels, you'll get the room measurements, and of course you'll get the gross internal area. You can scan porches, decks, balconies, etc. added into this as well. But how is this financially viable for us? So we recognize that a certain percent of agents as well as photographers will opt in for add-ons further down the line. So we always say that agents typically opt in for fixed furniture, which means that you get a better detailed understanding of the property. So you can learn what appliances are there. So for example, where's the cooker? Where's the HVAC system, etc. Further to that, bathrooms, you'll understand the utilities in the bathroom. Is there a shower? Is there a bath? How many bathrooms or toilets are inside the home? Further to that, you'll understand things like door swings. So you'll know where the door swings are, what type of doors. Are they French doors? Are they sliding doors? Are they just standard opening doors, and which way do they open? For the appraisers, you can opt in for the GLA appraisal floor plan. So you'll get all the required calculations and the full PDF report of the GLA delivered in a nice, simple PDF file that you can attach as an addendum to your appraisal software. If you need it back quicker, you can get it back within 6 hours. So if you've got a quite fussy home seller that wants a lot of marketing material quickly, we can't do it straight away, but we can get it back to you within 6. That's typically okay. So the free floor plan goes up to 5,000 square feet of scanned space. So that will include, of course, the total square footage of the home, as well as any exterior areas that you have scanned, such as driveways, garages, patios, decks, etc. So this is how we make money as a company. You can customize your floor plans. So you can have these, we have about 5 or 6 different templates that you can choose from that are created by us, but you also have the freedom to be able to create your own. You can also edit things such as room names. So if you have a preference to have the family room called the living room, you can change that quickly. If you would like something to be called dining room, I don't know, you might want to call it a food room. I don't know, we've seen lots of labels, but you can call it food room if you want to call it food room. Arguments say that that may be the kitchen, but you can change that as well. So if you want an eating kitchen, etc. You can add logos if your MLS, of course, allows you to do so. And you can also change color schemes to help the property stand out even more. So for example, in this one, this is our earth tones. So you can understand the home's layout in a single frame even easier. So the bedrooms are all colored in the same color. The wet rooms and the bathrooms are all covered in the same areas, and common areas are all colored in the same tone as well. Further to that, Cubicasa isn't just a tool that you can just pick up and use and there's no support. We have, I know it's biased, we have a fantastic customer support team. We operate 24/7, 7 days a week, and you can reach out to those with our amazing chat system. So chat allows you to send a message and get in touch with a human, not a robot, a fully trained person on our team to help guide you through whichever issues you may be having. It also has the freedom to share screen, so we can share our screen to show you actually what we're talking about. If chats or widgets aren't your thing, you can always email us at mlshelp@cubicasa.com, which is a dedicated email address for our customer success and service team to cater towards MLS needs. So if you do have any questions, we are there to help, and we are absolutely fantastic and quick responding whenever you do send us a message. So next steps, we do have another slide to go through after this, which talks through how we sign you up. But essentially what we will have is we will have an area within your MLS page where you can click to sign up. From there, once you've done that, you just simply download the app and you start scanning. So that's the end of my part of the webinar. However, do we have any Q&A questions as of yet?
Yeah, we wanted to pause here and allow everyone an opportunity to to ask questions now before we moved on any further in the webinar. So if you do, I know May's been answering some of the questions in the chat, but happy to answer anyone's questions. I know Greg has a question now. And Greg, do you have the ability to speak? If not, we can open up the line for you. So Sam, do you want to send over the host back to me?
So I think I've asked Greg.
Oh, there we
already.
go. Perfect.
You there?
Yeah,
There we
gotcha,
go.
Greg.
I am a member of the Board of Realtors, but I'm not inactive in the sales side, but I'm a licensed appraiser. So what we need is exterior measurements. And I've seen these floor plans before, but they only have room sizes, not exterior measurements. How would I accomplish that?
So
Okay.
nice and easy. It's the same scanning practice. So I can open up a GLA example, but here is our GLA report. So what you can see is that, I know it's quite small, apologies, but you can see that there's actually external wall thicknesses added in for account. So you actually get the external measurements. So you'll get all of the internal measurements as far as things like stairs, etc., which are required by ANSI, but all of the measurements will be exterior. So it will fold in exactly as needed through the appraisals. So we're working with lots and lots, I would say probably 5 or 6 of the top 10 appraisal companies throughout the US, as far as being able to perfect this even further. But this today aligns with ANSI and it's recognized by both Fannie and Freddie.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Okay, I know we're getting some questions through as well, quite thick and fast on the webinar chat. So I'll just go through some of these. So what is the turnaround time? So standard turnaround time is within 24 hours. Average wise, we're typically seeing anywhere from 11 to 13 hours. That will of course vary as the market moves through its high seasons and low seasons. As far as add-ons, are they a per month or usage charge? So they are a usage charge. So it's not a buy the package and do 100 floor plans, for example. They are free, of course, to start with, but if you would like the add-ons, they are as a single use charge. So Bonnie asks, so the extra costs are individual. So say I have the free version, would I need to add over 5,000 square feet or maybe the fixed furniture plans? Are these prices per plan? So free program plus $15, or is this a one-time floor plan for monthly? So yes, this is a free plan that you are able to add on orders as a per usage basis. So as you add them on, we can charge. We don't at the moment have any kind of credit-based system that gives you full access to unlimited floor plans on a monthly basis. So another one here, should you scan the whole property in the same scan, including all floors and any detached garages or ADUs? Yes, the scan is an entire scan. So all floors plus ADUs plus garage and externals inside one scan. So what I typically do is I either start, if the home has a basement, I work my way up through the home. And what I mean by that is if I start from the basement, I'll work out there. Then I'll move up to the ground floor, the first floor. I still can't get the difference between the first and the ground floor because it's different to English and American. Apologies. But the floor where you enter the house, typically, I'm going to call it the ground floor. So what I would do, basement, ground floor, any kind of patios or decks, and then I would work my way up through the home in a singular scan. Let's see, what else do we have here? So do the no charge floor plans include floor measurements? Yes, you will get gross internal area. So gross internal is just the entire, from what I would call paint to paint measurements, whereas GLA or gross living area accounts in for the fixed furniture. So the free product will include paint to paint measurements, like room by room, plus a total area of internal as well as external excluded area space. Okay, any other questions before we move on to the next stage?
Yeah, great questions.
I hope I answered those so that they were understandable. But what we typically see as far as add-ons, so for example, real estate agents, we typically see anywhere from 40 to 60% of agents add on at least a fixed furniture product add-on. So of course, it gives them a lot more information to provide to the home buyers. So a good question here from Malcolm. So if you can't access the floor due to stuff in the way, can you scan a wall? So what we recommend is scanning around the space. So I would walk with the wall. So I wouldn't crab walk. If you imagine a wall is in front of me, I wouldn't walk sideways like a crab. I would walk with the wall and I would scan the space that I can see. We understand that some homes are either full of furniture or they are full of boxes, of course, moving out, moving in, etc. Now, what we can say is that we have produced over 1.5 million homes today across lots of different types of architecture, lots of different types of furniture, and we've optimized the scanning to be able to account for that potential issue. If we are in a home that could be classed as a hoard house, of course, it can be more difficult for us to understand that space. So we would just ask you to try your best to scan as much of the area as you can, including wall space, and as much of that floor space as possible. But they are a little bit more difficult for us, but it's nothing that we haven't seen before.
Typically, you would just, I'm going to try to demonstrate here, is panning up around the objects if you can. So just tilting the phone up more. And it's always good to capture more space in front of you versus keeping it focused towards the floorboards. I mean, obviously that's what you're going to want to do when you have a clear path to it, but I constantly pan up as I walk the perimeter of the property.
Absolutely.
Good questions.
And Greg has asked if we've already downloaded the app from the App Store, which I believe charges a fee for the floor plan, should we uninstall? So no. So today we have updated everybody's accounts globally. So everyone has access to a free floor plan. However, through the MLS, we are able to provide a better discount than what is on the website. So if you have already signed up, we'll walk through a process later on in the webinar to ensure that you're getting specific MLS discounts according to your MLS. So there shouldn't be any changes or uninstalling or creating new accounts. We can just assign you to the MLS that you represent. And can you please play the video of the amazing? Yes, I can play that. That's my favorite part of the scan.
We like to show that one.
I'll even put it full screen. So we'll watch through this as we answer any more questions.
But in the lower right-hand corner, the green line you see being produced is the walking path of the person taking the scan. So it kind of gives you some perspective on how they're moving throughout the house and what the camera is capturing as they do move through the property. And everybody, I think, is naturally a little apprehensive on their first scan as far as going slow. But I think you'll quickly realize what the tool is capable of. Sam mentioned in-app warnings if you're doing things wrong. One of those is moving too fast. So you'll quickly recognize what the application is capable of. And again, your first scan, you're probably going to be a little apprehensive, but we'd always recommend maybe trying it on your house before you go to a property. And it's always nice to have a floor plan of your own property as well for DIY projects. But you'll quickly understand how the app responds to your movements and what you should and shouldn't do as far as warnings it will give you.
And as you can see here, there's areas of the home that, of course, are covered with furniture. At some instances, this looks like a Home Alone trap. As you can see here, there's lots of Lego on the floor. So yeah, just avoid the Lego if there is on the floor. But yeah, furniture's not a problem. Just don't stand on any Lego if you can avoid it.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to misrepresent what the tool is capable of. Fully furnished homes are the majority of what we've scanned in those 1.5 million. It does not need to be absent of furniture or what would be typically found in a property. And if you have floor to ceiling boxes in every direction, we're probably going to encounter an issue, but I would say that's the rare exception versus the normal rule.
And you don't have to worry about, I don't know, people being in the way of the scan, or dogs or cats or gerbils or whatever running around the home, whatever may be there. You can just continue to scan. So no worries about any of that. Sherry has asked if we can include outside buildings and pools. Yeah, absolutely. So any kind of accessory dwelling units or external garages, sheds, sun houses, summer houses, whatever you want to have inside that floor plan, you can include them. We do have for certain hints and tips that are on our YouTube channel further that you can, of course, watch for external scanning tips. But realistically, yeah, just be mindful where you're walking. But yeah, just record outside as and where you can.
Michelle had asked, do we receive a downloadable floor plan? So as Sam mentioned, our standard SLA, which I can guarantee we hit 99.9% of the time. And that rare exception is typically if someone's sending us a 50,000 square foot commercial building, which we're also capable of doing. You'll get a notification once the floor plan has been completed, and it will direct you back to your user login, the credentials that you'll create to go and retrieve it. And there's 4 downloadable file types. There's a PDF, which the majority of the GLA floor plans for our appraisers would use, SVG, PGN, and JPEG. So what we're seeing typically is users uploading those as a image to the photo carousel, unless your MLS has a designated spot for a floor plan.
Absolutely.
More questions coming through. It's great.
And Diane has asked, how accurate are the measurements? So there's 2 factors that I would say affect the measurement accuracy. One is best practices or scanning style. So just following hints and tips that the app is telling you to do so. And the other one is, of course, device. We do also offer LiDAR based scans, which are based off the iPhone 12 Pro and upwards. So they consist of a piece of hardware. It's called LiDAR. It's very similar to ultrasound or laser. So it's bouncing off things and it's developing more of a what we would call like a piece of data set. So that's a little bit, should we say, it's just an extra data layer that we can Q&A off of. So we can see that the average scan is north of 98% accurate. Okay.
So after we scan, what happens after this? Do we send the scan to your company, send us a floor plan to your email? So yeah, Bonnie, essentially that's exactly what it is you'll have the ability to review the scan that you do before you deliver it to us. Once you do deliver it, it removes it from your device. sends it to us to be rendered as a 2D floor plan. Then we'll email you notification when that's complete within that 24-hour time period.
What I'll do is, there's a good question here, and I always like showing this as well. Bear with me. I'll just find this one image.
Casey asked while you're looking for that, Sam, Casey asked a question. Do you see pricing for commercial floor plans, say 65,000 square foot commercial building? Right now, I'll emphasize, you would be paying the standard price for the floor plan plus the fee for over 5,000 square feet. In the near future, that will be adjusted. Obviously, there's significant cost on our end to produce those floor plans. Everything you look at is quality controlled or in quality reviewed by a person. There's some automation, but very little. We review everything by a person to ensure quality. That scale will change, Casey. I can tell you, it will be far more affordable than any other solution to get a floor plan for a space that large. But right now, it's just our standard pricing.
So I've also popped a image on the screen because we had a question come through from Robin saying, how does it figure out closet? So there's two parts of this story that I would say. So the first one is you scan the closet. That always helps. The second part is if you don't scan the closet, the app is able to figure out non-scan spaces. So for instance, the gaps between the walls we can see. This here was a small corner fireplace. We were able to see the gap here, of course, with the scan data. But if there is an area that is completely unscanned, so this here is what I would say is a very thin claustrophobic pantry that was not scanned. There was a locked door. So this area, the app has highlighted specifically to our Q&A team that there is an unscanned space. And we can typically see what that space looks like in accordance to wall thickness, etc. But as you can see here, the red lines are certain parts of the AI depicting the space for wall alignment, etc. But this is a top-down image from a 3D cutout. So there's a lot of in-depth things or in-depth tools that our team has access to, of course, qualify that space. And then if there is a space that has been completely unscanned, let's, for instance, just for example's sake, say that this entire middle room was not scanned, this would be a huge red block. And we would, of course, reach out and say, there seems to be a potential error in the floor plan. Or you would receive it back and say, hey, there's an unscanned space. And we would go in and, of course, fix it for you. But we can draw things very accurately with just scan data.
So to Sam's point, like if you have the option to not, or if you have the option to scan it, we recommend scanning it at all costs. But let's say there's like an owner's closet and maybe a seasonal rental and you can't get access to it. As Sam mentioned, like we have the ability to see some of that negative space with the technology and can draw that in. But I will emphasize that if you're going to miss an entire room or multiple rooms, you're jeopardizing the accuracy as a result. So we don't recommend it. Let's see what else. There's great questions, by the way. This has been fantastic. And hope you guys are learning a lot by the answers that we're giving. Let's see.
And to Bonnie's point, so this is a free to use service with no subscription costs whatsoever. It's a pay by use basis. So if you do choose to opt in for an add-on, you can pay for the add-on. But other than that, it's a completely free service for you to use when you have a listing, etc. So yeah, absolutely.
Greg asked a question about can a scan distinguish a room with canted ceilings, or the appraiser might measure a space where the ceiling is 5 feet above floor level? Yes, great question. A-frames, that space that's under a standard ceiling height, that's one of the tools that we have in our GLA floor plan. So it absolutely will recognize those low ceiling spaces as not being considered GLA, which our appraisers would adhere to. Good question.
As well for open to below spaces. So this here is an appraiser's nightmare to do. So as you can see, when I was talking about extravagant architectural designs, this was a quite large property that was done by an appraiser. Apologies that it's a little bit blurry here. It's just because I downloaded the wrong resolution. However, you can see that all the external measurements are here. Now I will open up another image to show you what it looks like as far as open to below spaces. So this is the second floor. So bear with me. So as you can see here, this is a, I believe it's swapped over. Can you confirm, Eric?
Yes,
so
it did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here you can see that this is either non-livable or open to below spaces. So it does highlight those.
On this, and that's the second level, just for reference. Yep. It's amazing what this tool can do. Like I was in the standard traditional real estate valuation space for 15 years before I joined Cubicasa, and it blows me away with what this tool is capable of doing. And I do expect everyone to be naturally a little apprehensive, but I'm asking you to just please try it. It's free, there's no cost, and I think the results will surprise you in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Did we get all the questions? I think Casey mentioned, does the garage bay get included in the 5,000 square feet? So everything that's scanned. Yep. And the reason we put it at that is because we do have internal expenses beyond that are just go beyond the 5,000 square feet. There's more time invested into the QC and the production costs. So good question. Yes, we will send a copy of this webinar. I'll share this with Sarah and Brianna at Naren, and I hope I believe they'll distribute that or put it up on the the MLS site.
And I think we'll answer this one last question from, well, we'll talk about Cindy. We'll talk about the downloadables and how you download the app in just 2 moments. We'll walk you through what that sign up and download process looks like. But Malcolm's asked a fantastic question. So is it live upload, and what if there's no internet service? So you don't need any internet service to use the Cubicasa app. So you can, if you're out in the boonies, out in the sticks, you can do the scan, you can just upload it when you have stable internet connection. So it will save to the device up until a point where you click upload, and then it will start to upload. So yeah, absolutely. No internet required, just upload it when you have Wi-Fi. Never mind, we had lots of other questions come through. We'll walk through a couple more, and then we'll
keep
move
going
on to the
yeah.
sign up.
We got time.
So should it be the 2D app or 3D app we download? So the Cubicasa 2D floor plan app is the one that we would, of course, say that's our app. And
we've seen pretenders come in this space, so 2D is us. When we go through the sign up process later, there'll be a screen after you do click on that tile that exists within Naren's site. It's going to bring you to a landing page to the sign up process. And the very last step is going to prompt you to download the application, and it will be our link. So.
And Greg has sent a message. It does say to host and panelists, but I'll read it out anyway. So it does say, I will second the ease of use. I had a photographer use it on one of my listings recently. He spent about 7 minutes in the house, produced a great floor plan, and it cost him $75, and now he can do it for free. So we do, of course, recommend that this could be a huge cost saving for you, but at the same time, if this is something that you do not have the time to do, we will talk you through ways in which that you can access photographers that use this within our network so that they can service you when you are in a time of busyness. So absolutely. All right, so I think this is, sorry, Eric, go ahead.
No, and just to that point, Greg, I'm sure some of you may or may not use, tools like Matterport to produce the floor plans. We're actually the back end technology there for them, but this is a much easier, cost effective, and time saving solution to some of those if you are doing those yourself as well. So just keeping that in mind.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I think
Awesome.
This is a good time. If you do have questions, just stick them in the Q&A, and we'll try and answer those as we come through, or just put them in the webinar chat, and we'll talk through them as we get them.
Yeah,
I think
great.
This is a good time to hand it off to May to walk you through how sign up works and go from there.
Hello everyone, let me just get this here and share my screen. Just a second. Can you all see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Okay. So this is the page that you will see once you click on the button from your dashboard. So you would have the link on your dashboard at Naring. And once you click there, you'll go to this page. And here you will just click here, sign up, scan and done.
And just
Here
for
it's-
reference, I am going to share this deck with Sarah and Brianna so that you have access to it. This is just visualizing the steps you'll take for the sign up process.
Yes, it's a pretty straightforward sign up process. So you will enter here first your email and create your password and accept our terms of service and privacy policy. Then you will click on next. And here you will enter your company details, select the country and the floor plan language. So just a reminder about the difference between English and English with primary denotation. If you select the English only, you will get the master labels. And if you select the English with primary denotation, you will get the primary denotation. So basically master BAF or primary BAF. It depends on the language that you select here. You can change it later if you want. And then here, it's the most important step that you need to select either agent or appraiser. Otherwise, you will not be able to see the next steps in the sign-up process. And then here you will see that it will automatically pre-populate the MLS name. So you can see here, and then you will enter your MLS login ID. So this is the same login ID that you use to log in into your MLS, could be your email address, could be your MLS ID. So we advise you to use the same, as this would be something easier for you to remember. And then after you have added this, you will click here, verify this account. Then we will verify the account. And once we have verified the account, you can see here the MLS name, the MLS login ID. Now you need to still click on add membership. Here you can see that you have added the MLS membership. And there was a question on the chat about if you have more than one MLS membership, you can just click here, add more, and it will bring you to the same screens that you have seen before. The only difference is that the new MLS would not be pre-populated, but you can just start typing and it will search on the drop-down list that we have. And then once you have finished adding the MLS ID, the MLS membership, you just need to click here, submit, so it will be applied to your account. And once you do it, you will get in your email inbox this email where you need to confirm your account. So then you'll just click here, confirm email. And once you do that, you will be redirected to this page where you have already the link to download the app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Or if you are not using this from your phone, you can just click here, send the downloads link to my email, so you can have the links there as well. And
Yeah, so if there's any confusion about which app in the App Store, I just recommend waiting until this page through your sign up process, and it will prompt you to, if there's any confusion, prompt you to the right one.
yes.
Awesome. Thanks, May. And we've got 15 minutes left, so we could do a couple of things. We can continue to answer questions, or we could have May maybe walk you through just what your profile looks like after you've got it set up. I know some of you might be interested in taking a look at how to adjust some of the settings, or maybe where to download the completed product after it's been delivered. So I think we've shared that on previous webinars, and folks find it helpful to understand where they're going once they've created the profile. Actually, once you get in there, it's pretty easy to figure out yourselves just with a couple of clicks. Once you've actually produced a floor plan, it will start to show up in your dashboard, but we could give you a high level review into what that looks like, if you're all right with moving to that direction, May.
Can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay, so this is the first screen that you will see when you log in. This is the dashboard. So here you can see how many orders you have done in the last 30 days, how many users you have in your account, because you can add users to your account. Then here you will have your outstanding balance, if you have any outstanding balance from previous invoice. And here you can see all the recent orders that you have done, including any drafts, any pending, or any red orders. To see all the orders that you have, you just go here to orders, and then you can see all of them. Or you can just click at the top here, and then you can narrow them down, for example, by the ones that are pending, the ones that are ready, or if you have one that you have submitted fixed request, they will be here in the fixing. Something that I would like to show you, because maybe you could have skipped the first step where you have read an account with Cubicasa before. What you can do.
This is perfect timing, May, because Greg actually asked a question stating his assistant signed up previously as a photographer. Can she sign up as an agent? So this would be affiliating your MLS your membership with your account through an existing account. So great timing.
Yes, so you just need to make sure that you have the right customer type here. So it needs to be either agent or appraiser. So in this case, if it's a photographer, you will not be able to see this MLS membership here at the top. So you just need to make sure that you change this to agent or appraiser here. And once you do that, you will be able to see this MLS membership tab here. And this is where you can also add the MLS. But in this case, you will need to search. So you can just search it here, for example. And then you can enter your MLS login ID, verify the account. I just got this message because I'm in the QA environment, but you shouldn't get this message. You should just get the confirmation, exactly as I showed you before in the slides here. And then just click on add membership. And if you have more than one, you can also add them here as well.
And to move on to Malcolm's question, so offices and users, so why would you add another user to your account? So just like Greg says, he has an assistant that's previously signed up that may want to do those floor plans for himself. So you can add users. It's the same as if you're working in a large brokerage, or you've got, or if you're the broker and you've got some agents that are working alongside you, you can add the agents there for yourselves as well. So it depends how you'd like to frame it. But essentially, if you're adding users to your account, you'll be responsible for the billing of all of their orders. So if you are covering the bills, then you can add people as users. So to do that, May, if you just want to demonstrate how you do add users in case anyone does.
Yes. So here you can create as many offices as you want. So you can just add a new office here. You already have that one. New office 2. And then inside the office here, you have the option to add the users. So we'll just add the email, the first name, the last name. And here is the most important thing. It's about the access level for the user. So we have 3 levels here. We have manager, we have collaborator, and we have user. And here is a reminder of what they can do. So for example, users can view all orders made by their office. Manager can see all orders by all users in all offices. And the collaborators do not receive delivery emails, can only see their own orders and have limited access to other features. For example, the collaborators, they cannot access the quick edit or submit fixed requests. Then once you do that, you just add the details here, hit on save, and they will get an email that they have been invited to Cubicasa. So they can just confirm their name, their email address, and then also create their password.
Rose, we'll reach out to you after the call and try to troubleshoot what you're experiencing.
By any chance, did you connect by your email address? Did you click to go through to the next stage on your email as far as confirmation. That's likely what that is.
Good call. And there's a way to resend the link to your email address. So I would check and see to ensure that you've confirmed it first.
Yes. And something that you might also be interested in is about the styling. So you can see here that I have many stylings. So if you don't have any styling here, don't worry, this is normal. You would just get the black and white default one, but you can create new stylings here. So you just need to click here, create new, and then you add your style name. So let's just add this here. Then the language, like I mentioned, the difference between English and English with primary denotation. Then you can select the units. And if you want to use any rounding method for the listing floor plan, you can just select them here. So just a reminder that this is only for the listing floor plan, not the GLA one. So you can select between the closest inch, the closest tenth, the closest half foot, and the closest foot. You can add your logo as well to the listing floor plan, or you can either select one of our default styles that I believe I shared the link in the beginning of the webinar that you can see here. Let me just show you what they would look like. So here are some of our default templates. So you can see them here. Or you can personalize it. You can just click here and select any color that you want. For example, for the wall, I want my wall blue and I want my room label red and I want my bedroom color, let's say yellow. It's a crazy one, of course.
Just about to say, this is going to be a weird looking floor plan.
Yes, and here you can see the door swing angle, like Sam mentioned about the floor plans with the fixed furniture add-on. If you get that, you can also select here the door swing angle, any angle between 0 to 90. So let's just say 45. And then here is about the total area at the floor plan, at the bottom of the floor plan. So you can exclude it completely, so it will not appear anything at the bottom. Or you can add here, and then you can select between the GIA, which is the gross internal area. That doesn't include the external wall thickness, or the total scanned area, or the GLA if you have purchased the GLA add-on, then you will get the GLA at the bottom of the floor plan. You can also add here any disclaimer, for example, then save it. And then what you can do, all your new orders, they will have the ones that you have selected here. So in this case, my default is this one. I will change it to this one. So just click here, select. That's the one that we just created. And I want to update then a node order. So let's go here. Ready, and let's find one. This one doesn't have fixed furniture. I want to show you one with the fixed furniture. This one here. Let's just go. I want to show you what that would look like. Maybe this. Okay, here we go. This is the normal earth tones. You can see it here. You can see that in this case, I have the GLA at the bottom here because I purchased the GLA add-on. Then use another style. I'll just change it, select the one that I want. Click on change style. And it will just take 1 or 2 minutes to replicate. You will get an email once that has been updated, or you can just wait a little bit and just refresh the page. In the meanwhile, let's see if we have any questions here that need to be answered. Mhm.
It looks like I think we may have all of them answered in May.
It seems so. So you just refresh the page here.
I think someone was asking for the website link. So we should exist as a tile within Nairn's platform, but we can also post the link here. Mayor Sam, I posted it into the chat or our chat. If somebody could post it to the webinar chat.
Yep.
Awesome. We've got 3 more minutes. This was arguably the best webinar we've had so far. Everybody was asking really good questions. Again, we will share this video with Brianna and Sarah at Nairn, and I'm sure they'll either post it or distribute it to the group somehow. But we're really excited to work with you. I hope you found this beneficial. I can assure you, you do not need to be tech savvy to have success using this tool. And for the price of free, you can't beat it. This is extremely valuable marketing material that is just going to educate, again, as Sam mentioned, provide you with more educated home buyers and help you represent your sellers with more marketing material. So an extremely, unfortunately, this is such an underutilized piece of information on real estate listings that it quite honestly, in most of Europe, it's on every real estate listing. So we're really trying to change the narrative here. And we feel like we've accomplished that with providing a tool on your cell phone that you can do in 5 minutes and get a floor plan back in 24 hours, or very likely less. So I hope everybody found this beneficial, and we're excited to partner with you. And if you have any questions, please reach out to our chat or the email that we shared with Brianna and team, and we're looking forward to working with you. All right.
Thank
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.